Now let's take a look at the consonant sounds in English. There are 21 consonants in English and we have 24 consonant sounds. Now there are three ways in which we could examine or look at these consonant sounds. What are those three ways? The first thing is whether the consonant sound is voiced or unvoiced. That's the first way. The second is the place from which we, articulate that consonant. The place of articulation. And the third thing is the manner of articulation. We look at all three of these one by one. Now, of the 24 consonant sounds, 8 are unvoiced and the rest 16 are voiced. Let's say a few are unvoiced and the others are voiced. Now, P, T, K, Ch as in church, F, Th as in think, S, and Sh as in shoe. These are unvoiced. So, because these are unvoiced, the glottis is open and there is no vibration of the vocal cords. The other consonants are voiced consonants, and because they are voiced consonants, the glottis is closed and there is a vibration of the vocal cords. This is the first thing, voiced and unvoiced consonants. The second thing is the place of articulation, and there are 8 places of articulation for these consonants. The first is the glottal H. The sound H is pronounced from the glottal region. So the first place of articulation is this glottal region and we pronounce H from here. Glottal H. Then we can come to the two lips, bilabial. Sounds which are pronounced with the help of the two lips are bilabial sounds. For instance, P, B. See, you can see the way in which it is being pronounced. Both the lips are being used. P, B, and then M. And then you have wash, which, where, W. Now, these are bilabial sounds, and so the two lips, these form the second place. Then you have the Labial Dental, which means the upper teeth and the lower lips. F, V, these are labiodental. So this is the third place of articulation. Then the tongue helps in articulation, and so the tip of the tongue touches various points within the mouth. So when the tongue touches the upper teeth, dental sounds are produced. Th, the, think, this. These are dental sounds, and this is the fourth place of articulation. Then we go to the region behind the upper teeth, and so we come to the alveolar ridge. And when the tip of the tongue touches the alveolar ridge, you are able to articulate sounds like t, d, t, d, t, and d. These are articulated from the alveolar ridge. So this is the fifth place of articulation. Then you go a little behind that and you come to the palato-alveolar region or the post-alveolar region. This is your sixth place. And so now you are going to pronounce a different set of sounds. Sh, zh, measure, treasure, pleasure, shoe. These are from the palato-alveolar region, the sixth place. Then you come to the roof of the mouth, the highest point. That is the hard palate, and the sound y is pronounced from here, articulated from here, the seventh. And finally, you come to the region which is known as the velar region, the velum, the soft palate. And you articulate K, G, K, G. These two sounds come from the velum. They are known as velar sounds. So now you have seen that some consonants are unvoiced, others are voiced. And you have seen that there are 8 places of articulation. Now what is left for us to see? We have to see the manner of articulation. Now when we speak of the manner of articulation, we will see plosives or stops where where there's a complete contact between two speech organs. For instance, when we saw the bilabial sounds, we saw 4 sounds. Now when you say P or B, there is a complete contact of the 2 lips. Those 2 lips come together, there is a slight plosion and they separate. So P, B. Now those are plosives or stops. When you say K, G, again they are plosive sounds. So now in the name of plosives, which means a close contact between 2 speech organs and then a sound is produced, you have bilabial plosives, P and B. Then you have alveolar plosives, alveolar ridge. You say T, D. Now the tongue is actually touching, there's a close contact. The tongue touches the alveolar ridge. It's a close contact. So you are saying T, D. These two are alveolar plosives. And then the third pair is the velar plosives, because it's being pronounced from the velum, and you have K and G. So you have three pairs of plosives. Of these three pairs, when you look at these three pairs, the first will be unvoiced, the second will be voiced. So if you look at bilabial plosives, you're looking at P and B. P is unvoiced, B is voiced. When you look at the alveolar plosives, you will look at T and D. Now, T will be unvoiced and D will be voiced. Similarly, when you look at the velar plosives, you will see two of these, K and G. The first will be unvoiced and the second will be voiced. So the first manner of articulation is plosives or stops. Now we come to what is known as fricatives, where there is a slight friction. And here you have 4 pairs plus 1, because H is going to be treated as a fricative. So you'll have 4 pairs and 1 H. So again, let us look at these 4 pairs of consonants, which we could call fricatives. So the first pair is going to be F and V, and we saw that these come under Labial Dental. F and V are Labial Dental sounds, so these are Labial Dental fricatives. Then the next pair that we will get to see is th and the. Th and the are dental sounds. This we saw. The tip of the tongue is touching the upper teeth and we are pronouncing th and the. So these will become dental fricatives. Fricative is just the friction. Dental fricatives. Then we will have S and Z, which will be alveolar fricatives. It's pronounced from the alveolar region, just, behind the upper teeth, you have the alveolar ridge and you're pronouncing S and Z from there. So they are alveolar fricatives. And the last pair will be sh and zh, shoe, measure. They will be palato-alveolar fricatives. So now we have seen plosives, we have seen fricatives, then we can see affricates, the manner of pronunciation, and you have only 2 sounds here, ch as in church and j as in judge. These are affricates. And then you have the fourth, nasals, M, N, and you have another sound in English which comes in words like sing, ring, sing, ring. So ng, that sound, that is also a nasal sound. And so M, N and ng. Sing is king. That sound is a nasal sound. Then you have approximants. Approximants, y, y, r, r, l, l, v, v. These are known as approximants. Now these are, they are given further names, but if you know so much, it is enough, because you have seen plosives, you have seen fricatives, you have seen affricates, you have seen the nasal sounds, and you have seen the approximants. Of the approximants, now we have only two sounds. You have L and you have R. We pronounce L and R differently in India, and they pronounce it, the Westerners pronounce it differently. We call it L, R, and they say L, R. So now these are known as the liquids. So L is an alveolar liquid and R is a palato-alveolar liquid. Now, besides this, there is one little thing that we could know, and that is the glides, which are known as the semi-vowels. We have 5 vowels and 20 vowel sounds, and we have 2 sounds which are known as semi-vowels. They are W and Y. When W or Y begin a word, they are treated as consonants. For instance, you say west, or you say yes, or yellow, or yet. But when a word ends with W, or it comes in the middle of a word, it is treated as a vowel sound. So also Y. So when you have a Y at the end of a word, or it comes in the middle of a word, it is treated as a vowel sound. So this is how we analyze consonant sounds in English.